Hello, everybody. As everyone is popping in, or even if you are reviewing this video later on, welcome and thank you so very much for your support of Vision of Promise LLC and even clicking on this video. That goes to show me that one, you are ready to jumpstart a new you, a new year, and to really put into place those visions and dreams that you have been maybe putting on the back burner or having some hesitation about, or maybe you just didn't find the right time to begin them. But by clicking this video, that is the first step towards moving towards your future. So thank you so very much for clicking this video. My name is DeShara Doub, and I am the founder and chief executive officer of Vision of Promise LLC. And I am super excited to share this last Facebook Live of 2018. Again, whenever you watch this, you can jumpstart it. Just because it's December of 2018 and maybe you watch it in January or moving forward into later months, know that whenever you begin thinking about moving forward with anything in your life, that is your new beginning. So again, thank you so very much for tuning in. So again, if you have questions throughout this Facebook Live, you're more than welcome to comment down below. Even if you are rewatching this and maybe if you have a comment or even a question, you are more than welcome to comment, and I will be sure to come back and answer your questions and respond to your comments as well. So again, thank you so much. Vision of Promise LLC is a counseling and consulting agency. Our hub is in Louisville, Kentucky. You can find us on www.thevisionofpromise.com. We are also available, of course, on Facebook and also Instagram at Vision of Promise LLC. And you can also reach us via email at thevisionofpromise@gmail.com. So follow us, like this video, share this video. You never know who might need this information. And again, just thank you so much for your support. So let's begin the conversation about mission and vision planning. Of course, many of you know this time of year, many people are preparing for the new year. Many people's new beginnings, jump starting, planning, or any type of new routine, new avenue in their life typically begins January 1st. Some people's, it even begins way before that. It begins possibly when someone turns a year older. It can begin with some type of life circumstance that says, you know what, I can't wait until the end of the year. I can't wait another day. This begins now. So each of us have our moments throughout the year where we want to begin a new thing. So this conversation, although again is happening in December of 2018, this can begin at any point in time for us. But a lot of times throughout this time of year, people begin having vision board parties or begin finding that new planner, that new organizer for the new year, begin writing down goals and dreams, maybe planning for things in the coming months. So that's one of the things I want to begin talking about this evening is what goes into mission and vision planning. Why is it important to do mission and vision planning? And how do you even execute it? A lot of us can think of so many things, and if we don't have the proper avenues in place, a lot of those things cannot come to fruition. And so again, it is really important to not only plan, but also to execute. And so that's one of the things I'm going to be talking about with you today. So one, what are some of the things that we want to dream about, right? What are some of the things that we have visions of? It could be anything from a career change. It could be maybe finishing a degree or a certification, a trade. It could be finding love again. Maybe taking a leap of faith and moving to a new place. Possibly maybe losing weight. That's the common one when people are going into the new year. So all of these things sometimes go through our head as the days, months, and weeks pass us. And we begin to think, okay, these are some things that I ultimately want to work towards, but life happens. Sometimes we're not able to press forward with the things that we ultimately want and desire. And so today I want to begin having that conversation of how do I even put into place these things that I think about in my private thoughts? Some of us even talk about them with friends. Um, but how do you put that into execution? So that's one of the things that I want to address this evening. So, a couple of questions that we should ask ourselves in preparation of starting something new, taking a leap of faith, going beyond our comfort zones. One, what are our dreams? What are things that keep that fire burning within our soul? What are things that we're passionate about? What are some things because of life circumstances and situations we have not put the energy into maybe like we used to, or maybe we've had fear of going into a new territory? So, what are those dreams? Secondly, what is stopping me from pursuing or acting upon my dream? Is it the naysayers, family, friends, foes, associates, acquaintances that are telling us, oh, that's silly, that doesn't make any sense, that's unrealistic, you would make no money doing that? How many of us have heard that? That is a testament of so many people. A lot of us stop our planning our dreams and pursuing our dreams because we have people in our ear telling us that some of these things are unrealistic. And so, what are those things that stop you? Sometimes it's not even what people are saying, sometimes it's the finances. Let's keep it honest. How many of us have stopped maybe pursuing that degree, or stop considering going back to school, or even going into a career because we're going to be making less? We're going to be accumulate more debt because we're not going to be putting maybe the financial, we don't have the finances to put into that dream, right? That happens to so many of us. Or maybe it's even time. Many of us, we run off of a clock. And although a lot of people say, oh, well, you still have time, you're young, or, it's never too late to start, whatever, fill in the blank. But how many of us have had those obstacles put in place that have prohibited us from starting that dream or putting that plan into place? Many of us have had circumstances that have prohibited us from moving forward. What do you need to make your dreams a reality? And so I think that that's one thing is important. I love vision boards. Many of us go to vision board parties where, we're cutting magazines, we're having pictures, we're having words, sometimes quotes, sometimes affirmations and things that we want to put into place. But how do we make that a reality? And so let's dig into that. Um, I believe that there are four qualities that are needed in order to press forward into making your dreams and your private thoughts a reality. One, of course, is planning, right? Whether that's writing it down, putting it on post-it notes, um, dreaming about it. A lot of us have just that fear of even dreaming up something, something that's beyond our wildest imaginations. A lot of us have fear of even pressing forward with even the thought. Sometimes we block out the thought like, oh, that sounds too scary. That sounds really beyond my scope of thought. That is breaking the norm, the routine that I'm on. So again, putting that into planning, writing it down, making it plain. Second is preparation. Many of us know that we can talk all day long, we can plan all day long for things. But if we don't have the steps in place in order to put that plan into reality, it's never going to come to fruition. So again, what are the things that we need to do to prepare? For example, if you're thinking about going back to school, is there an exam you need to take? Is there an essay or some type of mission statement that you need to write to the institution, to the program, to a particular entity, to let them know your interest, why you're the best person for that move, all those things. Another thing is a lot of time with preparation, particularly like say with a job, what are the trainings and what are the things that you need in order to press forward with pursuing that mission? So again, think about those things, those preparatory pieces, and some of those things might take a couple of days. It might take some months. It might even take some years. But again, putting into place what are the things that I need in order to make my vision and my dreams a reality. The third, of course, is execution. We can plan, we can prepare, but if we don't make that first step towards our goal, no matter how big it is, how overwhelming it might be, we're never going to be able to see the fruits of our labor. And so again, executing, which means sometimes for people it's stepping out on faith. Sometimes for people it's, you know what, I'm just going to dive in and go for it. For example, there are people that do not know how to swim. How do you learn how to swim? You have to get in the water, right? And sometimes that could be scary for people. They could have all these thoughts that come into their head. Oh my God, I'm going to get into this water and something's going to happen. What if it's too deep? What if something's in there? All of these thoughts can rumble into someone's head that could possibly prohibit them from moving forward, right? But the only way you're going to learn how to swim is taking that leap of faith and jumping in that water. So all of us have that moment in our lives where we're going to have to put into place and execute whatever we desire. And lastly, accountability. Accountability is so important, and that is one thing that even myself has had to implement in the last couple of years. A lot of times, many of us have dreams and goals and aspirations that we keep in private, that we don't talk about with people. And you know, honestly, there are some things that you shouldn't share with the public. Sometimes you shouldn't even share it with other people, because sometimes those thoughts and dreams are conversations with you and you alone, right? If there are things that you need to brew up, if there are some fears that you need to overcome, if there are some executions that maybe you're not ready for, but you need to put some things into place before you share it with the public, all those things are okay. But I think it's important for us to have accountability in some type of way. The example I just mentioned, if there are things that maybe you need to keep to yourself, how do you hold yourself accountable to those things? I must admit, there's a lot of people I know that one of the things they really want to do is maybe lose weight, right? And they don't want to share it with people because they have a fear of, oh, if I go get that carb, or if I go drink my calories away, or if I eat something bad, that someone's going to shame me, right? But how do you hold yourself accountable? Is it an app? Is it writing it in a journal? Is it maybe a post-it note, or maybe a reflection at the end of the day? What are some things that can hold you personally accountable for the visions and things that you want to accomplish? For those of you that want to step out and share that vision with someone else, that individual can be your accountability partner, and you can let them know, what does accountability look like for you? What are the things that you need from an accountability partner? And it could be anything from, hey, can you do a check-in with me maybe once a week? Can you send me a text? Maybe sometimes I just need some motivation. The accountability partner, one, has to be someone that is positive, and also someone that believes in you and believes in the mission that you're trying to accomplish, right? You don't want someone that's going to be negative. You don't want someone that's going to try to deter you from what you ultimately want to do. You want to have someone that's encouraging, even if they have some doubts. That can be an accountability partner as well. There can be someone that's asking some questions, making sure that they're pressing you forward. So again, sometimes it's really important to have an actual person to be your accountability. A lot of us, it can either be something, like I said, such as an app I talked about with individual accountability. You can have a reminder on your phone. Most of us have smartphones. We can have apps, calendars, clocks, all types of things that can keep us accountable on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to remind us of what our goals are. So I think in 2019, and I firmly believe this, it is time for all of us to elevate. Whatever that thing that has stopped us in the past, whether it's our own insecurities, whether it's the naysayers, whether it's we've seen someone else do it and they haven't succeeded, whether it's some fear, some roadblocks, some finances, some time, oh, I had a turn within my life that maybe it's not going to allow for me to do the things that I desired at one point in time. Whatever those things are, those are excuses. And sometimes that can hurt us to hear that all these things, all these reasons that we put in the atmosphere as to why we're not moving forward with certain things, they're not reality. They are excuses because there are always ways of going around those things. For example, there's many people that want to pursue either finishing their education or their certification, or people that want to seek an advanced degree or certification. Money can be the biggest deterrent from doing that. But what are some other ways that you can educate yourself? Is it actually working for that particular institution or program? Maybe they have a tuition remission or reimbursement type of program. Maybe it's pursuing scholarship opportunities, internships. All it is an application and a deadline, right? So what are the things that we can do, say if you are pursuing an education, that can press you forward into doing that? A lot of times it's just the fear of even applying, right? The next fear of maybe having to talk to someone and rationalize to them as to why you're the best person for that particular program, job, opportunity. So again, I think it is crucial for all of us to begin putting away those doubts and those feelings towards what are some of the things that we ultimately want to accomplish in our lives. I think it's so important. So as we're moving forward into 2019, as you're moving forward to a new day, a new year, a new opportunity, I hope each of us, each of you, takes time to really reflect within yourself. What are some things I've really, really, really wanted to do? I'll give myself an example. One of the things that I desired for the last 2 years, actually, I've put on my vision board, is traveling. Prior to 2 years ago, I had never traveled outside of the country. I had had a passport for at least 4 years, had never even taken it out the postal service envelope. But I was determined to find some type of resource, some type of way to gain those experiences. And it wasn't even necessarily just wanting a vacation. It was wanting to immerse in cultures. It was wanting to gain experiences, have something that can enhance me personally, professionally, etc. What did I do? I clicked the confirm button on a flight. The first step. Just like, you know what? I have some time. Let me just go ahead and just click in some numbers, see what I can do. You got a payment plan? Okay, confirm. That was the first step. I must tell you all, that was the bravest and biggest step I have ever made in my life. I was frightened. I had never taken a flight that long. I had doubts. Oh, what about security? What about going somewhere new? Am I going to understand the language? Am I going to have foods that I enjoy? Am I going to have enough things that I need? All the doubts in the whole world was coming into my mind. But I must tell you, when I did it, it was the greatest experience of my life. And when I tell you that I encourage each of you, whether it's traveling or it's something else, pursue your dreams. There's a verse in the Bible that says, write a vision and make it plain. And a lot of us do not connect with the Bible, and that's okay. But there are so many contexts in each of our lives that talks about vision boarding, preparation, planning. And it's something that each of us have had to do at some point in time in our lives. Everything was not by happenstance. There are things that you have done within your life that prepares you for that next journey and that next phase in your life. And it is important never to let anything or anyone stop you from moving forward and pursuing the things that you desire and you value. I think it's so important. Many individuals that I've known that are elders or older people always talk about, I have lived a wonderful life. I've lived a full life. And sometimes they've even said that they've had maybe some regrets, some things that, I wish I would have done X, fill in the blank. But because of life, because of, you know, some additions to my life, some subtractions to my life, some tragedies in my life, it stopped me from pursuing the thing that I desired the most. And I encourage each of you to figure out what that thing is. What is that thing that is that burning inside of you that just will not, that just lingers, that will not go away? Things that you've dreamed about, things that people have told you. A lot of us have those empaths in our lives, or people that we come across and they say, you will be a great fill in the blank, or you have such a nice spirit, you will be a great nurse, a great educator. Have you ever thought about going back to school and pursuing this degree? A lot of us have fears and things that we never imagined, because a lot of times our vision are is things that maybe have been put upon us by maybe our growing up, people that have been in our lives of pursuits and dreams that they desired and they want to place upon you. But I even offer you all an opportunity to even reflect upon what are things that are not what other people have wanted for you, but things that you've wanted for yourself. And are those things maybe off the wall, things that you have never imagined is going against your tradition, your routine? Possibly. I know there are people that want to pursue fine arts professions, acting, modeling, being an artist. And a lot of times people say, oh, well, that's not a real career. Oh, you're not going to make any money. You're going to be a starving artist. Some people say, oh, I want to move to New York, LA. I want to go out the country. I want to do underwater basket weaving, whatever those things are. And there's always going to be that person that's going to be like, oh, okay. Or, I don't think that's going to be the best thing for you. But it's not about what others think, because others are not going to be taking those exams, writing those papers, filling in those applications, typing things late at night. Those people don't have those dreams. Those people don't cry at work because they cannot pursue, or they're not in a place, or they're not happy, or they want to do something else but they feel stuck. Those people don't have those things. We each individually were created to do something that no one else in this world can do. And so I think it's important as we move forward to really put our life mission and the visions that we have for our life in place. And so as I close, again, I challenge each of you to take a moment of self-care, a moment of quiet. Sometimes even solitude works for some people, and really reflect upon not only the past year, but even the past few years over your life, around what are some things that you have had burning desires about, burning dreams about, that you have not been able to fully put into fruition. because life has happened, because a turning point in your life has occurred, because maybe an opportunity fell through and maybe it deterred you. Maybe it deflated your dream. Maybe it made you realize, I'm not built for whatever that is. It's time to reevaluate it. It's time to think about reigniting that flame within you to really pursue what you ultimately want. And I am hopeful for each of us and each of you to find that thing, not only to plan for it, not only prepare for it, not only execute it, but even have the accountability for yourself. If that means putting something on your wall that you look at every day, that's the one beauty about vision boards. You can hold it up, post it on your wall, and you can look at it every day and remind yourself that even when you're going through tough times, even when life happens and it kind of derails your plans, that you can always refer back to it. Sometimes it's writing affirmations on our mirror. Sometimes it's listening to that podcast. Sometimes it's referring back to that message on your phone. Sometimes you have to even have someone to remind you what those things are and encourage you to continue to keep pressing forward despite life, despite circumstances, despite events that can happen that can really deter you or really alter the plans that you've put in place. I'm grateful to each of you all for your support of Vision of Promise LLC. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Again, if you like the content, like it on our page, feel free to share this information with your loved ones and your Facebook friends and followers. And feel free to contact us. Again, www.thevisionofpromise.com is our website. 20-minute free consultations. You can't beat free, right? What are these visions that you desire? Maybe you're having a problem or unable to kind of think through how to pursue it, how to execute, how to have accountability. Contact us. We are more than happy to speak with you about that. Follow us on social media, of course, on Facebook, Instagram at Vision of Promise LLC. You can also email us at thevisionofpromise@gmail.com, and all of our information will be linked to this video below. Again, thank you so much for your support. I wish you a happy holiday. I wish you a happy new year, a new life, new opportunity, growth, bounty, all the things you hope and desire for well beyond your wildest imaginations. I hope each of that for you. So again, thank you so much for your support and tuning in. And I look forward to seeing you all in the coming weeks, months, and years to come. So thank you all so much and have a good one.